Welcome back to Copenhagen Blue. The Kia is apparently needy. She needed one more thing before she was road ready. That thing is engine bearings. That sucks. Let's get started. So as you can see, we've got glitter in there and copper, and that's probably engine bearing material. So we're going to drop the oil pan, take a look at the bearings, probably throw a set of connecting rod bearings in there because it runs okay, but obviously we're eating some bearings up, and if it's for 15 bucks I can replace the engine bearings and she sings for another 40,000 miles, we're in good shape. I don't want it to grenade after all the work I've put in. So let's get started. Well, this certainly doesn't seem like it wants to be a very simple job. Looking at this, I mean, these nuts look like they might have been somewhere at the bottom of the Titanic, and as we move back we have an even worse set right here. But we're going to break out the induction heater and see if we can't break some of this stuff free, because if we can't get the exhaust free, we can't get that pan down, and that's going to be problematic. So we're going to try our induction heater, see if we can break any of these bolts free, because they're crusty and I need at least this flex pipe down. So let's see if we can get some bolts loosened up. We're going to heat the hell out of this and see if we can get this nut to come off this, even though, you know, it's pretty crusty. You ever think to yourself, I don't need an induction heater? Tell yourself you're wrong, because holy crap. Now, I don't want to touch that because it's gonna be a little warm. Let's see if we can. That is insane that actually came off. Let's try the other side. I'd love to get this pan down and take a look at these bearings. 15 mil. Okay, so somehow that one's not going to be a 15 millimeter. Oh, I think I got it. Yes. All right. Wind for the, was it the Irwin? Woohoo! All right. Yes, that is kind of success alike. Why one of them was a 15 and then this one's a 13, unless it's literally just rusted to the point that this is now a 13, but whatever. All right, we got our bolts off, which is good, but now we need to separate the flange, and I'm not sure, maybe the 3-pound mini sledge will do it. If not, we're gonna have to drive something in between the gasket and try and pry it, but I don't know, I don't like it. Cover your ears. There we are. Okay. Hey, we got our flex pipe down. Let's see if we can break some nuts free. And by nuts, I mean bolts. Let's see if we can break some bolts free. All right, it's mostly 10 millimeters and a 14 millimeter or two. We're gonna see if we can get these pan bolts down and try and get this pan off. But first, we need to use our 12 millimeter here, and I need to get this plastic panel out of the way that I've put back and taken down and put back and taken down a couple more times. So we got our splash panel out of the way. Now we're gonna see if we can take down some 10 millimeter bolts one at a time.
I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
I think we got it. Oh yeah, we got it. We got the pan down. So here's the bottom of the motor. So we've got our connecting rods all lined up. We've got our crankshaft. So looking down on our pan here, let's see if we can, we have like a chunk, literally chunk of something. What is that? Yeah. What is that? That's like a, is that carbon? I mean, the good news is, well, no, there's not really good news. Because we still have some metal flakes here, so yeah, we're gonna have to pull those bearing caps down. At this point, we're just putting bearings in it. I'm gonna order them because I've gone this far. Screw it, we're going all the way. Shouldn't be too hard to throw a set of connecting rod bearings in. We're gonna get them ordered up and get them replaced. Spray down with some brake clean just to get rid of the oil rinse. We're gonna break our first connecting rod bearing cap here free, and all right, we got those free. Oh, that came down quickly. Okay. So far, cylinder number 4 does not look bad. So, question becomes, where are we getting our particulate from? Let's clean it off real quick and take a look. See what we're working with. Take that back. These do need to be replaced. But when you look at this, you can actually see kind of the dulling of the metal. So these were getting pretty worn. You can see in this how the bearing sits. So we're going to actually pop this out. All you do is we're going to push on it, and it's going to come out where the tab is, and then we're going to do the same thing with our connecting rod. We're going to push it up a little bit, and then we're going to slide that bearing out. So with a little pressure pushing down this way, you can see that our bearing starts to rotate out, and then it's just kind of held in there by friction. So we're going to take that out. Now also, we really don't expect or want to have oil on the back side of this. This should be a clean surface when you put your bearing in, and it should stay fairly closed up. So we're going to wipe that out. Probably a good idea that we're doing this. Let's keep moving along. We have our upper bearing. Hopefully that focuses okay. But let's clean that off a little bit. With the scoring that they have on there, and how dull the finish is getting, it's eating through, but we still haven't found major chunks of metal, which concerns me. But one step at a time here. Let's set our bearings to the side here. The way this orientation goes too, we have a tab here, and we have a tab here, and they overlap each other. It's how they sit in the connecting rod and go around with the crankshaft. All right, this is our first cylinder, almost done. We've got our connecting rod with bearing back onto the crankshaft. We're going to put our cap on with our bearing in it with a little assembly lube and torque it down to spec. So we have our bearing cap back on, and we have our nuts here, and even though it shouldn't matter, I'm putting the same nut back on the same spot that I took it off from. Now let's get our torque wrench. Now we're using an inch-pound torque wrench, so 26 foot-pounds converts times 12 into 312 inch-pounds. So I'm going to adjust my torque wrench, and we're going to torque this down. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got the connecting rod bearings done last night. Grabbed a new gasket for where the manifold downpipe meets up with the flex pipe. It's a Walker 31388 in case anybody cares, which probably nobody will. But oil pickup tube as well. Gasket decided to leave the chat on that one. Can't get just the gasket from AutoZone. You have to get the tube with the gasket. It's $22. So I ended up getting a roll of gasket material for $11, but this is probably more gasket material than I'm ever going to use in my entire life. So if anybody ever needs any gasket material, you let me know. But let's make a gasket. Cut this open. I've never actually had to make my own gaskets before, so this will be kind of new to me. But this is some Felpro for sealing oil, water, and gasoline. Timing covers, fuel pump mounting, differential covers, distributor base. So I figure it's probably oil resistant and it should work for our application without a problem. Taking a look at it, it's kind of a rubbery cloth material, but let's pull it all the way out of the package here. We have our gasket material here, and what I'm going to do is actually just just to make sure that it all lines up, I'm going to put the pickup tube right here on there just to make sure everything fits. I'm going to run my scribe around. So see how this one has kind of a, looks like the state of Tennessee, and this one doesn't. This one's just kind of a diamond shape. So I'm going to match up to what was already there and lay it out on here. We're going to trace out our bolt holes. They're going to trace out the pickup tube hole itself. And since I only have a half of a hole, once I get the one half done, bring my other bolt hole over here and we can finish that out. That looks a little bit better. We went a little larger. Let me grab the bolts and see if they go through. We have both our bolts in, and we'll be able to line that up with our gasket. Everything should pick up just fine, making sure that the hole matches up with the size for the pickup tube so we don't have any restrictions. But I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to trim this just a little bit more just to make sure that everything fits the way that it's supposed to. I'm going to clean up our pickup tube here, and then we're going to put our gasket and bolt everything back together. See, we have more of that damn material. I don't know where this shaving, where these came from, but man, at some point this thing really had some type of catastrophic failure or something flaked off. That is metal, but at least we got it out of there. Well, I think that turned out pretty darn good. That's a good looking gasket on there. Recommendation was 84 inch-pounds. I did go up to 200 because I figured take into account a little bit of that gasket material squashing down. And the last thing I want is a pickup tube bolt to drop back out while the engine's running. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Next thing on the agenda is getting our gasket material cleaned off of the block as well as on our pan. Get the pan cleaned up so we can put that back up. I still would seriously love to know what the heck is going on and why there's so much crud in the bottom of this pan, but we're going to spray all this out, get it all cleaned up so we can get it ready to go back on the car.
Hush.
Well, with about a 45-minute cleaning, it looks way better than it did. I mean, is it perfect? No. But is it better than it was? Yeah. So I'm going to let this dry out, and then we've got to scrape all this gasket material out of this channel here. I thought about using a 3M roll lock, but I don't want to damage the aluminum surface, so we'll see if we can kind of try and scoop that out. Bottom of the crankcase is all cleaned up, so we're ready to apply some gasket material. I don't know if I'm going to apply it to the actual block or if I'm going to apply it to the pan itself. The pan is cleaned up, but it's a pain in the butt getting the pan up in here because I couldn't get the exhaust all the way down. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We're going to figure it out. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before. I really don't like RTV. I wish this had a rubber gasket because I just always feel like my RTV gaskets are just a complete shit show. But it's on. We're going to get this hopefully up against the block and finger tight and let it sit for an hour, and then we'll torque it down. No optimism that this is going to work because it's just so tight getting in there, but screw it. Let's see what we can do. Holy crap, that actually went in a lot easier than I thought. We've got our bolts all snug down, nothing torqued to spec yet. We have a little bit of gasket material pushing out of the sides. Hopefully I didn't go too thin on it. And let's just give this an hour and then we'll torque everything down to spec. We're going to torque our oil pan down to 90 inch-pounds, and we're going to go in a crisscross pattern all the way from the inside to the outside. For our oil choice, we have Meyer 5W20. It is just a synthetic blend, nothing crazy, but we're going to put 3.5 quarts of this in the motor. You know why we use a funnel? Because it's fun. I know. This is that moment where you just assume you're going to start hearing shit pouring out of the bottom of the motor because, you know, you didn't do something right. But we're going to err on the side of optimism, and we're going to hope that she's all good. Let's see if we fixed engine bearings or not. Fire in the hole. Oh, really? A weak battery? All right, now we're on a go. Fire in the hole again. It's running. It's alive. It's actually purring quite happily. Well, I need more power steering fluid for my power steering job, but as far as engine bearings, she's running. Well, that takes care of at least the connecting rod bearings. Did it need to be done? I don't know. I've looked at the connecting rod bearings a couple times, and I mean, they had some wear. Do I think it could have kept going? Sure. But if anything, I got all that crap out of the bottom of the oil pan, and there was a lot of sludge. So the engine should be happier and healthier, at least with what's running through there. So only time will tell, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.